Today, we're going to work on a bedtime, nighttime, calm down, chill out yoga practice. It's going to be short and sweet and hopefully get you to be able to relax and wind down for the rest of your evening. If you have them and you want to use them, you are welcome to use some props. I have a bolster, which you could also use any kind of cushion or pillow from your couch. I have a blanket, which you might want just for covering up towards the end as you get more chilled because we're not moving a whole lot. I've got 2 blocks here. They're not absolutely necessary, but they come in handy for giving you some support. So those are optional. I always like to have some water nearby. Also, I've got socks nearby in case my feet tend to get a little chilled, which sometimes they do when we're doing this kind of wind down type of practice. So if you've got those things, let's go. If you don't, grab them and come on back. While you were gone, I've acquired an assistant. So Gunner's going to help us out, help us chill out. He's pretty good at that. So we're going to start seated. I am seated on my bolster. Gunner is seated on the blanket. Yep, we're ready to chill out now. So just seated on the blanket or pillow or bolster or whatever you have. I like to do that just because it helps elevate my hips and helps me be able to get a little more range of motion out of things because my hips tend to be a little tight. So we started out seated. I'm just going to have you rest your hands on your legs, in your lap, wherever feels good. Close your eyes and let's take some nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. And as you start to do that, I want you to feel your shoulders relax and drop away from your ears. Let go of the tension from the day. Let go of that stress and worry. We're going to leave it. We're not going to carry it with us into the night or into the next day. We're going to leave it behind so we can start fresh. Release those hands to the sides. We're going to inhale, reach up high, and we're going to do a nice little twist. So take that right hand behind you, left hand to the knee, look over the shoulder, and just hang out right there. Take a few breaths. Inhale back to center, and exhale other direction. Looking over the left shoulder. Breathe into it. That breathing will help you go a little bit deeper. Good. Inhale back to center. Exhale and release the hands down. So now we're going to take our legs and we're going to switch which leg is in front. So just switch them around. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to do that same twist. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, twist to the right. Look over the shoulder. Sitting tall as you do that. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, those hands release. I'm just going to have you rest your hands on your knees again or in your lap. And we're going to work on some stretches to relax through the neck and the shoulders. So I'm going to have you close your eyes, drop your chin to your chest. We're going to roll the right ear over to the right shoulder. And then take it back to the chest and then take a left ear to left shoulder. Take that back and forth, chin to chest, right ear, right shoulder. Chin to chest, left ear, left shoulder. Just keep going back and forth gently. Breathe. Good. Come back to that right side one more time. We're going to add just a little extra to this. So ear is to the right shoulder. Our left hand, we're going to press it towards the floor, away from us. We're going to take our right hand to the side of the head and very gently pull that right ear closer to the right shoulder. It really takes very, very little pressure here. And if you don't need any pressure, then don't put it on there. Just press with that left hand towards the floor. Good. We're going to release that. Do the same on the other side. We'll press the right hand away towards the floor, left ear towards the left shoulder, using your left hand Gently add a little pressure. Again, if you don't need that extra, just let that left hand rest on your knee. You may not need any at all. Good, release that. Take both hands to the knees again. This time we're just going to look over the shoulder. So maybe turn, look over the right shoulder, and then turn over to the left. These little movements we totally take for granted unless you start to lose them. And you'll notice one day, notice that if you're with your older family members, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, that maybe as they're driving, they have to turn their whole bodies as they look over. We're going to try to avoid that kind of stuff. And we're going to really work on mobility through the neck and the shoulders so that we can be safe and have a nice full range of motion for as long as possible. Come back to center. And then all I'm going to have you do is we're going to roll forward onto your knees and your hands and coming into tabletop. So I'm going to turn here, bring this out of the way. So we're going to have hands right under shoulders, knees right under hips, and we're just going to make some big circles with the hips. So we're going to drop hips towards the right heel, over to the left heel, circle around. Just draw some big circles. And then once you've done 3 or 4, go ahead and switch directions. You may have some creaking and popping going on. I know I do, and that's okay. And then we'll come back to center, and we're going to sit back in a wonderful child's pose. So you can separate your knees, bring your big toes together, extend those arms overhead, and just let your head drop between your arms. Settle in. And if you want to take this a little deeper, we're going to lift up onto the fingertips. So with that, you're being really active through your arms, and then you can press your chest down between the arms. You can still let your head rest on the floor if you like, and just get a little more out of that. Breathe. Come on back up to tabletop, and let's go through cat and cow. So we're going to inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin and the tailbone. And then as you exhale, round your back, tuck your chin, really exaggerate that curve, and go back and forth with this. 1 breath for each movement. Good, and return to neutral. All right, so we are going to use this bolster, or if you have a cushion, you could use that cushion. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a little ramp for our upper bodies. So I'm going to take my 2 blocks. If you don't have 2 blocks, you can use anything you have. And I'm going to create a little support system for my bolster. So whatever you've got, shoe boxes, all kinds of things you could use. I'm going to create a little ramp with my bolster. So if you tend to get cold quickly, you may want your blanket. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to place my hips all the way against that bolster. I am going to use my blanket because why not? That's why we have it here, right? I'm going to cover up the feet. The other thing you can do if you like is you can keep it folded up and place it over your hips, and it creates a little more grounding effect. So you have lots of options. You just have to do what feels good to you. We're going to come on back. We're going to rest our heads on that bolster or cushion or pillow. We're going to bring our arms to the sides here, open up palms to the sky. Close your eyes. And you should start to notice an opening of the chest and the front of the shoulders. Especially if you sit at a desk all day, this is really important to open those muscles back up. Helps with your posture. And again, just helps kind of free the shoulders up a little more. We're just going to let the legs kind of fall out. Feet are relaxed. Let's just stay here for a few minutes. If your mind starts to wander when you're here, I would like for you to bring your focus to your breath. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Feeling the belly rise and fall with each breath that you take. And we're going to slowly begin to come out of this by placing your elbow on the floor and very carefully rolling onto that elbow to your side. And all we're going to do is we're going to turn and face towards our little ramp that we've made here. We're going to sit back, similar to child's pose. So I'm going to bring my knees on each side of my bolster. Make sure I have my ramp here. So my knees are on each side of the bolster, big toes are together. And then all I'm going to do is come forward and rest my head on this ramp. So if you need a little more height here, if bending that far forward is not real comfortable, you can take your blanket and fold it over a few times and place it here to elevate that surface. But all we're going to do is we're going to come forward, we're going to turn our heads to one side and just completely relax. So you're going to come down onto that bolster, let your head turn to one side. You can let your hands just rest by the sides here. Just sit back and relax. We're going to spend a minute or two here before we change sides. Carefully come up, change sides. So just turn and look the other way. Rest your head. We're going to carefully begin to bring it on up. Have a seat back on the feet. We're going to bring that bolster away. You can place it back under you if you'd like to sit on it again, or you can just bring it to the side. You can use your blanket if you like to cover up. And I just want you to find a comfortable seated position here. Again, let the hands rest on the knees or in the lap. Close your eyes. Take some nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. Look deep into the body and notice how things are feeling. Are things a little quieter? A little calmer? I hope this allows you to have a more relaxed, less stressful rest of your day, evening, whatever you have left for today. And I thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Bring our hands to the heart. Let our eyes begin to open as they gaze across the fingertips. And as always, thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. Namaste.